The second one is if we were to draw a distinction between counseling and therapy, coaching and therapy, sorry. A therapist is also a person most probably who's got a master's degree in clinical psychology, and he practices or she practices as a therapist, trying to heal people of their mental illnesses. They usually work in close proximity with a psychiatrist and some medical personnel. They can also work at psychiatric hospitals, and they do therapy with what they call patients. They would often refer to people as patients. Coaches never refer to people as patients. It's either coachee, which we've discovered is not a small coach, or it's a client. Therapists have got their place. They do good work, especially if they're born again. They do very good work. It would be very complex to tell you why I would not suggest a client of mine goes to a clinical psychologist that's not born again, but I won't do that. Because they've got a different approach and understanding to healing than most probably what you and I have. We've got something else in mind. But they've got their place, and some of them do good work. But you and I don't do therapy. If I were to draw a distinction in terms, or on a timeline in terms of what we as coaches would do, if we put the midpoint as now, in the present, and that side as the future and that side as the past, therapists focus much more on the past than on the future. Therapists would focus much more on healing memories, whereas a coach would most primarily focus on the now, the here and now, and what we can mean to our clients as they enter future. We don't do therapy. We do coaching. That's better than therapy. No, it's not. It's everyone's got his place. We seldom focus on the past as coaches. I do from time to time, if needs be, because I've got a little framework in my mind. Let me explain this little framework for you. I do believe that we have a here and now, which is the only total available to us reality that we can enter, embrace, live in, be in touch with. And then there's a past. We all have a past. And I divide it in two types of past: a positive past and a negative past. And the positive past would primarily be great things that happened to you, defining moments in a positive, good sense, things that happened to you. That makes up the bulk of your positive past. But you also have a negative past. And my definition of the negative past are those things that were painful that happened to you in the past. Traumas, disappointments, rejections, abuse, misuse, misunderstanding, anything that has happened to you in the past that was not nice in your experience of that. And we all have that. No one is exempt. Even you have some elements of a negative past. So I would venture back there with a client if I feel we're stuck somewhere and we need to come unstuck, because something is still there that keeps you back, that prevents you from moving forward. And my little metaphor in my mind says that it's like a stake that was placed into the ground at that point where you got hurt, rejected or disappointed, or whatever hurt you got. And then there was a rubber band on that stake, and a rubber band was put on your back. but you're moving forward. But at some points in your time when you want to lift your feet, that rubber band is stretched to the full extent that it pulls you back there, and then you're there again. And we sometimes struggle to get over it, to get healed from that, to move on. We all have somewhere some things that we struggle to get over or move on from. Those things need some attention. Often I think forgiveness is the most powerful thing to unhinge, to unhook us from those traumatic experiences of the past. Forgiveness is mightily powerful. Never underestimate the power of forgiveness to get yourself unhooked from things of the past. And it could be forgiving yourself, forgiving God, forgiving others. It could be in any dimension of relationship that you need forgiveness, or to give forgiveness, or to release something through forgiveness. When I think about the positive past, and one would ask me, but what do you do with that? I would say celebrate it. Just enjoy that. If the memory comes up, because the past works in memories, the future works in imagination. The now is like reality. The now is the only true reality that we can embrace, to the extent that you can taste it, see it, hear it, touch it, smell it. The future can be touched with the imagination, the past is touched with memory. So memories need some healing from time to time. And some of you that do some kind of counseling or deliverance or journeying with people, you know that you venture back there in the past to go and unhook people from things of the past. Personally, I think many recipes that one can use to help other people focus a bit too much for me on the past. It's not wrong, just for me. It's a bit too much. We need not to belabor the past as if it's something that you have to return to again and again and again. Having said that, it doesn't mean that you sometimes don't go back to the past with your client. Please hear me, it's never either or, it's both and more. It's not either do we go back to the past or stay in the now and the future, focus on that. No, it's both. You must broaden the brackets that you put around things. It's not there or there, it's there. There. It's important. You need to expand the way that you think. And you will, because somehow I'm challenging you to think different, which is good for us, because we're going to make a greater impact as coaches when you think differently, when you shift the paradigm.